Hey, what's up? What's up? Hope y'all are doing well today. Happy Friday. At the workshop here, we're going to be working on the last view of the sandy beach before we head out of town. And then we also have some other forever pencils that I'm going to also probably sand or I'll shape the uh, fountain pens for the local store. Haven't quite determined which one it's going to end up being yet, but uh, yeah, it'll be that. So hope you're having a good day. Leave a like if you do like it, and let me get to work. I reckon. If you like what you see, boom, perfect. All right, we got the rose glasses to enhance things. I jumped a little bit. Blanks fell over. All right, it's okay. These are for the upcoming. Another upcoming. So, let me grab the rest of this stuff right quick. There we go. There we go. We don't need that. Don't need that happening. These are some upcoming ones. Abby's been very active with getting blanks made and stuff, so that is very cool. It's always nice to be ahead in some things, huh? All right, so we're gonna hop over here. Whoop, hey, my bad. Come on over here now. There we go. That's looking good. Pivot this over here. Yeah, that's good right there. Whoop. All right, I'm gonna be over here. Here we go. You looking good? Looking, sounding, feeling? All good? Excuse me. Alrighty. It is a little toasty. I think today is supposed to be 90 plus. And then in enclosed spaces, you know, movement and all that other stuff. Ends up making it nice and toasty. So, boom. Okay, here's the sandy beaches. I've only got a few of these left. I've turned most of them, so that's pretty darn cool. Glad that is the case. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. Uh-huh. Bum, bum, bum. All right, Morty is on, and we are getting to it. Anybody got big plans for the weekend, or at the start of summer break, or any trips over the summer, anything like that? We're going to be going to Sunset Beach. It's been a tradition, long-standing tradition in Abby's family, and being a part of that, I end up at the beach a lot as well. So, yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to do a little streaming action. Let you know I'm still here. I know it's only been a day, but So yesterday was mine and Abby's 14-year anniversary. been together for a little while. So that's pretty cool. Give this some time, that way I can recognize some faces and stuff of what other people were working on, so we can rap about that a little bit. Got some interesting things to talk about, I reckon. But, you know, it's interesting to different people. I reckon I'll be here. If anybody wants to say anything or ask something, I'll be here, obviously. And I'll probably just ramble about something if it comes to my head. And I'll start getting a specific direction. But that'll take a couple minutes at least before I get to that point, I think. Yeah, man, we've been putting in some additional efforts here. We're streaming. Oh yes. Yeah. There we go. That one is all, well, not all, but you know, I'm done with my part here. Oh, Loki! Loki! Hey, buddy. Oh, are you even in there? Just your little bit. Just a little head. Chris, how you doing, buddy? I'm good. Thank you for asking. How about you? Did you ever get those kits and crank something out? Or were you working on something different, weren't you? I don't remember what it was. Is it a box? No. Somebody else was working on a different type of polishing. And that was Lawrence. But it's been a little bit, I think. Uh-oh. What's going on here? Yeah, okay. Whew, that was weird. But yes, finishing up some of these before going to the beach. But yeah, man, it's what we got here? One. Yes. Chris, what you been up to, man? Gonna be going to any upcoming events? Let's see. Life's good. Right on, right on. The kits. I thought you had ordered some kits recently, or you were looking for a blank. That's what it was. You were looking for a type of blank, weren't you? You're doing 2 new pins. Cool. That's awesome, dude. Doing 2 new pins. Where are you at with them? Are they sitting on the bench waiting for your attention? Yeah, these. I'll be done with these. Whew, and then we'll be able to do something a little different for a little bit. But I gotta get packed up. Leaving tomorrow. I'm trying to think if I'm gonna try to do anything while I'm there. Haven't really had the need to do anything, so I guess it would be just a want. But what kind of pins are they? Ooh, come on, Dust Collection. You're not doing much collecting. But yeah, nonetheless, good to see you, man, and glad you're doing well. So this one and one more. Have to dig a little deeper. Can't get that round in there for that last little bit. Hey, how you doing? Good afternoon to you as well. Let's see. Apologies in advance, but didn't you and I talk a little bit about, what was it? We were talking about sending an email talking about maybe chatting together or something like that. So it's been a busy time getting Abby back into the groove and all that. But yeah, I think we talked a little bit about something like that. Sorry, I don't remember. Let's see. Do y'all know each other? I've met Chris in person when I went to the Mid-Atlantic Printers Expo. So that was pretty fun. Any pen makers take a look at the recent video series that I started? I'm going to work on a couple of them this evening to try and get the rest of those out before I leave tomorrow. At least that's the hope. If not, maybe end up working on them while I'm there. But I really just need to do the voiceover portion of it. So we've only got the preparation and then the section out right now. The next will be the next two will be the cap and then the barrel or flip. And then it'll be shaping, and then the last one will be finishing. So let's see. I am in North Carolina. I am in North Carolina. Seems like everybody is. I think we had that same conversation too. You had a lot of people you talked to from different places. Oh, right on, right on. Yeah, yeah, I did say North Carolina. But that's cool. Do you visit here often? Or visit, well, North Carolina? But yes, Abby and I were both born in North Carolina, and then traveled around for military, and then came back to be near family. But now we're keeping an eye out for, well, not keeping an eye out really for anything. We'll just have something in our sights, really. Like to move out west. Big plans for the summer? Anybody? Traveling? Shows? Visiting family, friends? Work? Because work is common response. Yes. Bada bing, bada boom. That's what we're talking about right there. Sorry, little intense about things that are going on here. Oh, that's nice. Alrighty. Alright, so what do we want to do? We want to switch to sanding some of these the forever pencils, I mean. Or we thinking shaping some of the shot pins. I have to go to the metal lathe just for a little part of that, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna see where we are. At what point we are at, I guess is what I'm talking about here. I'm over here. Fear not, I have not left you. Okay. Put that there. Go ahead and turn that off. And then I need to check this right here. Righty. Is this it? That is it. Okay, so a while back I started working on these here. These are the ones that I was working on for the shop, the local shop. The sections are over here, and then obviously the pins are over here. This one's trimmed already down to approximate size, but I need to go ahead and get these centers on the rest of these. Yes, on some of these at least. So, yeah. Let me reposition this camera right quick. So, join me right here. Sorry. Sorry, I wasn't trying to get all up in your face, but you know how it goes. Alrighty. Okay. Let me get this how we want it here. This will be a different kind of view, I guess. Okay. And just a little adjustment here. Okay. That looks pretty good. There we go. All right. We shift it over. Come on now. There we go. That's pretty good. Get some light. Oh, there it is. How's that view? Let me see. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, we already got that. All right. Okay, so from here, I've got these mandrels, and then what I'm going to do is get my center start. But yeah, I've been working on these for a little while now, it seems. Let's see. Okay, are we too close? I don't know if I can zoom out a little bit. Okay, that's good enough. Sorry. It's as good as it's going to be. Maybe. Oh, other way. Huh. Wow, this is messing with my brain. All right, that's good enough. Okay, so I don't know the name of all of these blanks, but Abby does. But this is the first one here that we're going to be working on, and I'm just going to be center starting the cap. This is a little bit of a different sequence than you may have seen with my other processes. And it's because I'm trying out different sequences. So that's why. Doesn't have to do too much here. Just get her spinning a little bit. Kind of lock the tailstock in a bit. Slow and there we go. That's it. You gotta get all of these. So I'm kind of using this back end here of the tailstock quill. So I'm just tightening it up just a little bit so it has resistance. And that tells me that it's going to be locked in pretty much centered to where I need it to be every time. So that's why I did that. Got to keep finding all the ones that need the top part. Now, I should go ahead and say that you could, at this point, potentially do a portion for making the top part for a clip. So you could do it at this point if you wanted to, or you could do it at a later stage. But ultimately, if you're going to get it from the top, from the cap, you want to make it a little bit longer than normal. And then you're going to determine how big of a piece that you want for the top. But yeah, you'd kind of do that part upside down and then part it off and then do what I'm doing now. Yeah, tonight. Let's see. Okay, we got a couple more here. Man, these are looking nice and swirly. There's lots of cool swirl in those. I like to do those in a flat top. That way you can kind of look at the swirls like that, and it's pretty nice. Okay, there's that. And I know the reason why. Okay, so what we're gonna do from here, making sure we got all of these already done. All the caps, good, good, good. Cool. Now, time to switch over to a live center. And trim it down. Okay. Alright, so we're going to end up starting this and seeing where we are. But the vacuum's going to be running. Let me make sure it's pretty empty. If not, I might have to... let's see. All right. Just gonna take a couple hand fills out. Whoop. Okay. Alrighty, there we go. Now we got enough. We got enough space in the vacuum. It likes to wrap around the filter. But yeah, I'll be trimming all this to make it relatively uniform as possible. So I'm gonna be doing some of this for a little while. Okay, that's set. This is locked. We're good, good, good. Not going to be taking off too big of a bite, I don't think. Let's see. That's good enough. And then if you are doing it like this, or if you're using a square carbide, you're going from left to right like this, you can absolutely do that. However, I would stop shy of the end. That way you don't accidentally chip out the back end. I don't know why it ramped up like that. Too much material, maybe? That's all right. We have a general measurement that they're all going to be that size. And then let's see what we're actually at here. There. Perfect. All right. We're at about 16 and a half. So that's a good amount to be. A good diameter to be. That way you can still shape some and also work through it. But the other thing is about that is you're going to need to make sure that you keep them together. Let's see. There we go. All right. So this one now. So now I know that it's the body Guardian. And then this isn't going to get taken off anymore. So if you really wanted to mark something, you can say, let's say C1, C1, and then we'll put Guardian. And that's just going to stay there. And then same thing for the barrel, should you want to. That's something that obviously you can do. Let's see. So because this is a smaller duty lathe, if I do take a bigger bite from the material, it kind of makes the carriage tilt just a little bit. So that's something that I'm keeping an eye on to make sure it doesn't cam too much, and then once it breaks off the end. We don't want it to break off the end. See, that kind of ramped up right there, and it shouldn't have. Go again. Right there. Oops, sorry, off the can. Do that, pop this back out. That's looking really nice. Looking good. Okay. Looks about good. Away we go. Looks like it's going to slope again. Maybe not. Sweet. A little on the thin side here. Okay. Come on now. In. Let's see. Hey, Manav, how you doing? Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Are you a turner as well? You're a new name I have yet to see. Go back on just a tad. Boom. Oh, there you go. All right, we're actually going to let this one run off and then do another run here. And then if we do happen to chip off the end, it'll be a good teaching point. But we won't. Or we didn't. Perfect. Who doesn't like trimming down colorful sticks? Huh? Boom. Ooh, that's looking pretty. You can kind of see, a little better what that one's gonna end up looking like too. Pretty cool. Let's see, C2. Okay. This is a M2. Yeah. pick up the pace. Alright, gonna have to do 2 passes. That last pass, and just screw it up a little bit more. Oh yeah, there we are. Anybody else got projects they're working on? Or even better, a summer project they're working on. Man. Lots of good summer projects. But mainly, you gotta take care of yourself too, you know? Yourself and the family. And then you are 2 more here. So we'll end up coming back to these pieces again, because we got to get them shaped how we want them to be. See that? I was dancing around too much. I didn't like that. I'm gonna have to go under here and work them. The carriage set nuts and bolts. This needs a little adjusting. So I have to pull this a little further back than I usually do in order to engage the quill. So just give this a little bit of a screw down, and then it resets it. Perfect. Yes, there we go. There's your partner. Boop. Then we'll go back through with the barrels. The barrels are going to be kind of cool because you're going to take a big old chunk out of those. Hopefully, if the lathe will operate. Alright, we have reached trimming speed. Ooh, that's right. Yep. Just going to do another little trim here. But yeah, the next thing is going to be the barrels. I'll just trim them down a little bit. That is the last of those. So the next thing I'm going to do here, put the barrel manual on. Okay, that looks about good, huh? We're kind of eyeballing this first go, but we'll get a set here. Actually, that might be it right there. That looks about right. Come back this way. There we go. Make sure you don't get too close to the edge as well. You definitely don't want to run into the problem of having to figure out what you're going to do with that back end. But I'll go ahead and say, if you did happen to do something like that, what you do is you would flatten out the tenon. You can take it down a bit, right? Because you need to make it about as level as the tenon. And then you can get a different piece and then thread it onto that and basically replace it and then have an accent band. So hopefully you were able to follow that. If not, that's all right too. Okay, we're gonna need to, let's see, this and this. What? Okay, let's say that you're a Guardian, you're a G2, you're 1. Cool. So we got G2 and M1, and now we have the sections that correspond with the ones that they need to go to. So that's the other reason we're doing it, is to keep the sections all organized as well. One. Cool. I don't need that. You know, maybe it would be cooler, instead of looking at the top of my head, looking at this, huh? Alright, let me just fix that a little bit here. Down, rotate this way. There. How's that? How's that look? Let me take a look see here. Get that in focus a bit more. Hey, there we go. Cool. Now you're not just staring at the top of my head anymore. I feel better about this. Lock, not lock. Tight. Good. Set. Okay. Alright. And away we go. Oh yeah, that's a good. This is a good depth. Back it up. But yeah, I'm keeping this on for now. That way I can go back to it once I do the other, when I go to the wood lathe. I'll do like a little recess in there. Yeah, make those adjustments. Let's see, this is G, we'll write 1. And another 1. So we can see that this is already about the ratio that we're looking for. A quick little tip with that is to go ahead and determine how big of a shoulder you like, and then that'll determine the diameter that you're going for between the cap and the barrel. And then you won't have to adjust as often. Put G1. But yeah, some of these have a little bit of a shoulder from the way that I had my tool positioned earlier, and I need to adjust that. Okay, there's its partner. Yeah, you can see that there's like a little spot right here that has a bit of a shoulder that needs to be trimmed down, so we shall take care of that. Alrighty. Two. This is cutting nice and smooth. What we like. No, I'm gonna do that. Let's do that. Okay, this is 2. Oh, no, I can't work on that one. I gotta do different mandrels for that. I thought I had another. Huh. 1, 2. Oh, I do. It's already there. Whoops. Come on, John. Get it together. Alright, so we got 2 here, and it's going to be a G2. Ooh, yeah. Back it up a bit. Yes. Man, working on some fountain pens, so hope you're enjoying what you're seeing. If you got any questions, feel free to send them my way, you know? Be happy to make up an answer. Now, I could absolutely just do this on the wood lathe. I don't need it to be perfectly flat and round anymore. But this does shave off some time. I cracked myself up. You are two. You're going to be in two. Whee! Okay, this is a mic 2. And there is its section. Alright, let me see what that's looking like. Okay. Well, alright, let's focus on that letter there. Okay, that's bright. Well, it is what it is, I reckon. Alrighty. One. Let's see. Here you are. You are a in. Lawrence, what's up, dude? How you doing? Happy Friday. Just making some more progress on these shop things. Yeah, I got some peeps here. There we go. This is from a square, by the way, so that's one of the drawbacks I would say of squares sometimes is that they can end up with a lot of the heavier pigments sinking to the bottom because it's really not that far of a sinking that has to happen. So Lawrence, I was looking at that True Oil you were talking about, and that I was reading that it was used. Some people use it for like guitar finishes, and one of the things that I heard as far as like durability wise, it did seem like it does over time and a lot of rubbing, but it will, kind of wear off. All right, that is the last of the barrels, man. Heck yeah. So I'll have to go back through, measure the depth, and then measure the length of the pin, and then I can start turning on the wood lathe. Uh-oh, let me read that. Sounds like we've got an emergency. Here we go. Okay. Let's hop back up here, because I don't need that anymore. Whoop. Uh-oh. Oh, here we go. Okay, let's see. I'll hop over here for a second. Let me hit the vacuum so it ain't so loud. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, so just got through turning the cigar pin, but trimmed the bottom of the barrel too short. The bottom barrel too short of the cigar pin. A quick fix, I would determine if you actually need to fix that. Yeah, that's where I would start. If you do need more space, you're going to have to probably add on to something. Yeah. But, just take your calipers, measure what size it is, or your whatever depth gauge or whatever you're doing. So if trim the bottom, yeah, for some pins it doesn't really matter. I'd say for a lot of pins that is it a twist? Is it a twist pin? Because if that's the case, most likely not a problem. Or is it a two-body pin? Or two-part pin, I should say. Uh-huh. Let me look. Let's see. Okay, it is a two-parter. Yeah, what kind of cigar pin is it? Because you might be fine. Because, like, I could potentially, I guess the best way to illustrate it would be with an example, but let's see. Let's see the inside of the kit. Because I don't think it'll matter. Because especially if the converter's on the other side, if the converters or the transmission, I mean, because it looks like a twist. So if the transmission's on the grip side, it shouldn't really matter. You just put the transmission in as far as it needs to go to have the ink tip stick out when the transmission is activated, if that makes sense. But yeah, it looks like it would be a two-part pin, and the transmission on the top would be fine. Yeah. That's my answer, and I'm going to stick to it. Yeah, I hope it helps. I could, yeah, probably figure out a little better, but yeah. Let me see. Let me grab a slim line. I'll grab a slim line and kind of run through what I'm talking about here. So we got like a cigar pin. This is a slim line, but it's a two-parter. As long as the bottom's good. Yeah, just determine how much you actually need. So like, where's the, oh, there it is. Let's see, almost there. Let's see, pop that up. Right, so we can get an idea of where we're going to end up with this kit. So like you've got the blank on here, and then you start pressing these together. Just be careful not to press the transmission, too far, because that way you can have the adjustment point for it. But if you just did a little bit, it won't be a problem. At least for this one. So this is, yeah, so this guy right here moves up and down, and then you'll just put it in here. At the depth that it needs to be. Man, it's hard not to activate everything. The cartridge won't retract all the way. That sounds like a transmission problem then. Yeah, the transmission is this little guy. Is it, did you seat it all the way and all that stuff? Because, I mean, this is, I guess what I'm trying to show here is, this is the length, right? This is the length that we've got. And then the different components that we have to put in this area are these things. So that's the space that you have to work with. So there you go. Yeah. So for the very top, you don't actually need all of it. There. Get this out of the way so you can see. Okay. Not a great view. Here, let me see if I can better this up a bit more. There we go. All right. There we go. Okay. So there's that. These are the main components. We'll just pretend that this is the other thing from the cigar pen. And so you can see the tip of the ink refill to the back of the refill. Something pointy. Here we go. Oh. Here we go. So we got the nose cone, then the body, or part of the body, then the middle, and then the end cap. Now you have about this much room that you can work with. So if it goes to about right here for the end plug, like that, and you can actually just break down all the measurements here and then see that you have about that much of play for the kit itself. So that appears to be a little less than ½ inch, but I shall measure. There we go. So for this one, it looks like about ½ inch, 12.7. So, boom. So you should be good to go. Also, if you didn't know, you can make a single body out of two of these. Have you ever seen the single body slimline kit? Because you can do a similar thing with other two part pens. At least that have a transmission like this. Which is pretty neat. Anywho, there's that. Transmission screws in the bottom part of the thing. I'd have to dissect one of those and see what we're actually looking at. But I don't think it's going to be a problem either way. Yeah, I'd have to look at it in person. Or a picture, you know. Because I haven't done very many kits, but the same principles should still apply. And then the cap length in a lot of pens is just for that golden ratio. It's like a 1 to 1.6 or something like that is the magical number for the ratios. But yeah. Parker R5. I don't think I have one of those. Unfortunately. Alright, let me switch cams again here. Pop over y'all. Spin this around. Right. What am I doing? Alright, we're almost back. Parker R5. Alright. Oh, okay. These are the Parker R5s. Those are the, I guess they're just a standard Parker refill is what I've heard them called, but yeah. Um, hmm. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I'd have to